Today's going to be a little bit different. You can hear by the ambient background noise. We're outside today in the backyard. Like I say, today's going to be a little bit different. Normally I'd be showing you some kind of tool from the dollar store. Well, I suppose this qualifies as a tool of sorts. It is a dollar store item. Lately I've been looking to get for my bicycle a set, head and tail light set. But I've looked in the big box stores and all they've had have been either very expensive systems or systems that still cost around $10 but really didn't inspire me with the look of them about their quality. Well, I was in the dollar store and I happened to notice several actually sets of by different manufacturers of head and tail lights, sometimes just the headlights. The one particular set, it had a push me to try option. You know, you could push down the soft plastic to see if the lights actually worked or not, instead of buying it and then finding out you wasted your dollar. It was $2.99. I tested the one in the store that I liked. I tested 3 of them. One of them, one of the LEDs was pointed off to the side. I didn't think that was a good one. The other 2, one of them only had one working LED. So the reason I'm not showing you any packaging is, you know, you're taking your chance, of course. Then again, buying something from the dollar store, you're not going to waste a lot of money if you're wrong. But if you can test it while you're there, it shouldn't really matter too much whose brand you have. So here's what I wound up with. Head and tail light set. As you can see, I will use the tail light one to demonstrate. It was sitting in the package like this, and it was soft plastic on top, so you could push the button to see if the lights would turn on. It's got 3 modes: full on, quick flash, slow flash, and I suppose if you want to call it the 4th mode, off. So I tested them both out in the store. They both did what they said. So I put the $2.99 plus tax. This is what you get when I open the packaging up. As you can see, I will widen the shot out a bit. And actually, I'll go back to the red one to demonstrate better. It's got the large, not really watch-sized batteries. They're bigger than what you put in a watch, but like a computer CMOS battery inside, and the soft dome on top. This is it's waterproof. And it's easy to press. You're not going to have to fight with it. The stretchiness will allow you to go around different size for the handlebars or for the seat post or wherever you wind up putting it. It locks in like that. So that's what it looks like. Next I'll be showing you it on the bicycle in the daytime, and then I'll show a nighttime shot for full effect of what you get for your money. Here we see the front part of the bicycle frame. In my case, I'm fortunate the bicycle that I'm using has a forked area that connects to the handlebars. If you have a single connector post right in the middle, you could simply just put the light to one side or the other. It shouldn't make much of a difference as long as you are facing the light forward properly. So now I will show how easily it is to attach this using the stretching connectors. See how easily it slips on? And I have the ability, it is rubber so it will hold, but it doesn't take a lot of force if you actually try to move it. So I will put the light on. As you can see, I can turn it up, turn it down. You want to have it facing straight forward. Try and keep it at eye level for a car driver so they can see you. Or if you're just concerned about the road ahead, you might want to tilt it down. You have options. And we have the rapid flash settings, the slow flash settings as well. So now I'm going to attach the rear light to the rear of the bike. The way things are arranged with the reflector that I have right here already attached to the bicycle, and with the saddlebags that you can see the front end of, I don't really have a lot of room to attach it. I could take the reflector off completely to give myself more room, but I don't really want to do that. There's no point in taking off one safety device just to put another one on, especially if This one works all the time without batteries, and I can't forget to turn this one on. It's always on. If car headlights hit this, it's going to reflect light back. But still, I have a little bit of room on the seat post, so I'm going to attach there. Again, we can see the stretchy, rubbery material that the connector is made of. No problems attaching it. Just going to look to make sure it's centered fairly well. And there you have it. The light is on. Might have to play a little bit to make sure the orientation is correct. Make sure it's facing the right way. You don't want it too far off to one side or the other. But again, it has a quick flash mechanism, a slow flash mechanism, and of course, off. Personally, I have to say I love innovation. When somebody comes up with a new way to use an existing product or a new product to fill a need, I think that's wonderful. The other day I was waiting for the bus. I saw a guy riding by on a bicycle. He had some of these lights attached. Something looked a little strange. When he got by to where I was standing, I realized he had clamped a second headlight around the axle for the front tire. So I've done so now to show you what you can do with this. If you have a second one, or if for some reason you have a different light that you want to use on the actual handlebars up top to help alert people to where you are. Now, I've already reached in and attached it. I had to reach through the spokes. I do concede it was a little difficult to get it there, and the attachment is not quite as sturdy because the axle is not quite as thick as the handlebars are, so it's a little bit looser, but it still seems to be holding up pretty well. So now I'm going to turn the light on and give it a spin. There we go. As you can see, the wheel's spinning and the light is spinning with it. It's not staying put. So even though the connection is not quite as tight, there still is a good strong hold to it. So I'm going to stop the wheel and I'm going to bring it around a bit, and I'm going to put it on the flashing mode. I'm not sure if that would be more effective or less effective at night. We'll see with the nighttime tests when I show you what it looks like at night. But just to show you, you can use it for more than just on the handlebars. You could find other applications if you attach to a pole somewhere in your house around a pipe. If you need to get into the basement and you can't quite get to the light switch, you have a pipe running right by where the doorway is. First thing you do, you open the door, you press that, gives you lights to get down the stairs, then to the light switch. Plenty of different options. I've set the bike up with the rear light at a distance of about 15 paces. As I've said, there are several settings. You have 4, off being one. First click of the button to turn it on turns it on constant. The second one has it flash quickly. The third one has it flash slowly. So I'm going to go over to the bike, turn them on one by one so you can get a look and see just how bright it is. 15 paces, the bike's in the shade, the camera's out in the sun. I will be doing nighttime tests to show you, but just to give you a little idea of what it's like as a light, not to help you see, but to help alert drivers on the road, to let them know that you're out there. Here we go. First setting, the light's on constant. It's pretty straightforward. It's easy to do. No difficulty pushing the button. And it is waterproof, like I've said before. So now I'll go turn it into quick flash and then slow flash. So that was quick flash, followed by slow flash. It's being aided a little bit by the fact that I have a reflector right below the light, and it's helping pick up some of the light and bounce it around a little bit better. So those are the daytime tests of the rear light. I'm going to turn the camera off and reorient the bike facing the other way so you can get a look at the front. So here's the bike facing forward. I have it set up so that the light is pointing directly at the camera, not off to the side. This is a view with the light set to the middle of the handlebars in the off position. I will now go turn it on, and then we can get a look at what it is like constant on. Constant on position, 15 paces, just like it was for the rear of the bike. Now, I've tried to have the lights facing at height level for the camera. You might want to make adjustments for yourself depending upon whether you want to light the road ahead of you or if you want to alert drivers at their eye level to your presence. But because it's just the stretchy rubbery material that allows it to clamp on, it's easily adjustable by hand. You don't need tools to make any corrective adjustments. Again, the camera here is in the light, the bike is in the shade. I will be doing nighttime views to show what it's like, not when being used to alert drivers to your presence, but to actually help you see. Alright, so set up in the alley out back, have the bicycle here. I got enough light from a nearby security light on a building nearby. I'm going to ride through the frame with the bike with the lights off, see how well I can be shown. Then I'm going to turn the lights on and ride through with them on for contrast and comparison. Here we go. So there we have it. That's what the difference looks like with the strobe lights on and with just solid straight light. I will have to concede that in a darkened alley, having the strobe on is very disorienting. I won't say it's quite blinding, but it's very distracting. Really should only have the strobe on in a well-lit part of the city at night where there's plenty of ambient light around to diffuse the flash effect, just if you want to help with letting car drivers see you on the road. What I'm going to be doing now is riding the bicycle in a different nighttime scenario. Instead of riding it through a darkened alley where there's no or very little light source, this is what you would find on a street that's somewhat fairly well lit with street lights, more likely to encounter traffic and such. Here we see me coming into frame. I have the lights turned on, both front and back. I'm going to be demonstrating what it looks like in the street setting with the lights, having them both on steady and flashing. You see the car passing me by. There'll be another one coming by in a moment. I don't know how well he would have seen me without the lights on, but clearly neither of these two cars had any issue spotting me with the lights on the bicycle. And as you can see, I have the camera locked off at the doorstep there. It's pretty easy to pick out there. You see the tail light. It really stands out. Driving nighttime in the city or in town, in an area where there'll be a lot of people. So even though I'm not in total darkness, it's nighttime ambient light from buildings and street lights around it. Does a very good job. Just give it a second and I'll come back in the frame with the lights flashing. There you go. You can't really see the tail light too much. There you see it. Simply just because the angle I was at the beginning of that shot. You saw it reflecting off the red car there as I went just out of frame. I think that's a pretty good show. Very effective. In this final shot, I put the strobe light on the front axle, so it'll show what it looks like spinning around. Now, I mentioned the flashing light when I was in the back alley was very disorienting. It's not so bad whether it be flashing because it's spinning around the wheel, like it is here, or whether it's because I have it on the strobe effect on the actual light itself. It's not so bad in a more well-lit area, common, you know, you're riding somewhere, street lights, house lights, ambient light around you from businesses. It's not as blinding, so it's not all that much of a problem. If you have it on the handlebars and it's a bit too bright in your face, you might want to angle the light down a bit. That's all I have to say about that. So bicycle lights on the handlebars keep you from getting hit by a car, help you see where you're going. It's a very useful tool in life, but it's not a tool like a wrench or a screwdriver. So I'm not going to be showing you a shot of the toolbox or of the garbage to decide whether or not it's a pass or a fail. I'm going to tell you straight out this is a pass. You look on the video clip I'm showing right now, it's one from earlier. It's the close-up of the front lights on the handlebars. I give this a pass all around. Thank you, and please subscribe.